Have you ever stopped to think that there is a specific way of moving and existing that is so incredibly simple, yet so quiet and powerful it can make a woman feel amazing deep inside in just a few seconds? Most people think you need to be a millionaire or a movie star to have this kind of impact. But that is a total lie. You don't need to look like a male model on a magazine cover, and you definitely don't need a wallet bursting with $100 bills to make a real impression. You don't even need a list of rehearsed jokes or those weird, tricky conversation tactics that people try to sell you in expensive online courses. This is about something much deeper and more meaningful than any of that surface level stuff. Welcome back to Secrets Inside the Mind, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss our deep dives into human psychology. If you're enjoying the vibe so far, smash that like button to let us know. What we are talking about today is the art of being a real person. A kind, grounded man who truly knows how to be present in the room with another human being. It's a way of being that the vast majority of men never bother to learn. Many are just too nervous to even try it because they are terrified it won't work or they'll end up looking foolish in front of someone they like. But here is the crazy part. This simple shift is exactly what matters most in our fast-paced modern world. Before we get into the details, I want to get to know you a bit better. Drop a comment below and tell me which city or country you are watching from right now. Also, do you honestly believe that one small change in how you act can actually change everything in your life? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that because it helps us build this community of friends who are all learning and growing together. Now, here is where things get really interesting. Most men make a massive mistake when they try to get close to a woman they care about. They fall into the trap of thinking they have to be loud, aggressive, or show off every single one of their accomplishments. They feel like they have to brag about their high-paying jobs, their shiny trophies, or the expensive things they own. They mistakenly believe that the only way to impress someone is to provide a long list of reasons why they deserve attention. But the truth is actually much simpler than that complicated, exhausting approach. You see, a woman's heart and her body often feel things long before her logical mind even starts to process what is happening. This emotional reaction happens in the blink of an eye, in less than a second, well before she has any time to sit down and analyze the experience she is having with you. Now, this doesn't mean you should walk like a snail or move so slowly that you look like you're frozen or scared. That would just be weird. Instead, it means you should move with a very clear goal but without any sense of rush or panic. When you take your time and move on purpose, you give her body a real chance to actually see you and feel totally okay with you being in her space. Why does this work so incredibly well? It's because it proves you are a man who can control his own emotions and his own physical urges. If you're enjoying these insights so far, please smash that like button and tell me what you think in the comments. A man who refuses to rush through a romantic moment is a man who is clearly at peace with himself. It shows that you have deep respect for her personal space and her feelings. It shows maturity and true confidence. Because, let's be honest, only people who feel secure in themselves can afford to take things slow. When you rush, you're basically screaming that you're anxious or needy. But when you take your time, it tells her you are comfortable in your own skin and you don't need anything from her just to feel okay. But here is the crazy part that most guys miss. Next is having a gaze that is strong but also kind at the exact same time. This is a very special balance that most men never actually take the time to learn. It isn't the way a hunter stares at something they want to trap or control. It also isn't the way a shy person hides their eyes and avoids making a real connection. It is a look that says, I am right here with you in this very moment, and I am genuinely happy just to be here by your side. If you look at her just because you want her to like you or because you need her to tell you that you're doing a good job, she is going to feel that hidden neediness right away. It will make her feel awkward and put a ton of pressure on her. But if you look at her just to share the moment and truly be present with her, the reaction you get is going to be completely different. Now, this is where it gets interesting because the real difference is your internal state of mind. If you are looking at her from a place of being a whole person with genuine interest in who she is going to feel that. She will feel truly seen by you. And that creates a deep bond between you both. By the way, make sure to hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next part of this series. Third is the quietness that feels safe and comfortable. This is usually where many men start to feel scared and very anxious. As soon as there is a single second of silence, they get incredibly nervous. They start talking way too much because they feel like they have to break the tension or fill up the empty space. But you won't believe what happens when you handle silence well. A good silence is like a powerful magnet that pulls people closer. It isn't an awkward or empty silence that makes everyone feel weird. It is a silence full of kindness, confidence, and real connection. Without using any words at all, you are saying, I don't need to fill this room with noise because I am comfortable with myself and I am comfortable with you. This kind of silence is so powerful because it is actually very rare. In our modern world of constant noise and distractions, being able to sit quietly with another person is almost like having a superpower. When you use these three things together, something almost magical starts to happen inside her body and her mind. The slow movement tells her nervous system that it's okay to relax. It turns on the part of her brain that feels safe and peaceful. It actually activates her parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part that helps us rest and feel calm. If you move too fast, her body thinks there is a major problem and she gets ready to run away or fight back. Her nervous system goes into a state of high alert. The kind way you look at her helps her body produce a special hormone which acts like a bonding chemical to build trust. This hormone is called oxytocin and it is incredibly powerful. The safe silence lets her feel her own emotions without being interrupted or judged by you. Her mind starts to tell her that you are a real grown-up, a safe person, and someone she can finally trust with her deepest feelings. You will know it is working when you start to see the small signs. She'll start to give you these tiny, random smiles that have no obvious cause. I'm talking about those real, glowing smiles that come from a place of true joy, not just the polite ones people use to be nice. You'll notice her eyes lingering on yours just a few seconds longer than normal. But here's the crazy part. Keep a close watch on her hands. She might start playing with her hair, touching her lips, or grazing her neck. People do this without even realizing it when they feel that spark of nervous excitement and good energy. If you're finding these tips helpful, go ahead and hit that like button right now. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Her whole body will start to shift toward you. She might lean in closer or take a small step into your personal space. You'll hear her voice change too. It gets softer, almost like there's a musical rhythm to the way she talks to you. Even her feet and her chest will point directly at you instead of toward the door. Her body is basically speaking for her, sending signals that she can't actually fake. When you see these signs, you know something genuine is finally happening between you two. But you have to remember that the most important part of all of this is being 100% real. Don't ever look at this like a trick you're playing or some sneaky tactic to get what you want. If you're just doing this to manipulate her, she is going to feel it instantly. You won't believe how good women are at sensing when a guy isn't being honest. Their gut instinct is incredibly sharp and usually right on the money. So, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss our deep dives into how attraction really works. Instead of acting, do these things because you are truly happy to be in her company. Move with the kind of ease you'd have sitting in your favorite chair at home, totally relaxed and at peace. Look at her because you honestly find her fascinating, not because you're looking for her to tell you that you're a great guy. Learn to be perfectly fine with the quiet moments. The more comfortable you are with a pause in the conversation, the more she feels your inner strength. It shows her you're a man who has absolutely nothing to prove. This isn't about winning some weird game or being a master of seduction from a textbook. It's about being a man who is happy with who he is, even with all his flaws. When you give a woman a space where she feels safe, seen, and truly heard, it flips a switch in that moment. It doesn't just change her opinion of you. It changes how you feel about yourself. You'll start to feel a deeper confidence because you realize you don't have to be perfect. You don't need all the answers. You just need to be there. Next time you're with someone special, remember you don't have to be a movie hero. just be a safe harbor where she can finally let her guard down. Which part of this feels the hardest for you? Moving slowly, the eye contact, or just sitting in silence? Let me know in the comments. Being real is the only way to build something that lasts. I'm glad you're on this path with us. Take care of yourself and the people around you.